Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia, 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 we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia, 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 bringing the world closer to your doorstep. I was a lot of Baida, I was on the Sati, he did the love and you know, I was a Baba. Yeah. They never sabi wetin we carry for her. I said they never know wetin we carry for body. Ọ̀gbìn lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, èèwù ló lájú. Ẹyẹ tó torí kò péjì àdó ọgbẹ́jẹ lẹ́nu. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa. Ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbódúdú àga. Òdúdú ọkọ̀ bá lè dé wá. Ọmọ òdúdú wá sí kiri. Ẹ̀yìn dé fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé. Kéèlẹ̀ ilé rí. Àwa lè gba òkú ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ní mọ̀lẹ́ tí yóò kàn káàkiri. Ìyàwó òdúdú wà nígbà. Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó. Kásá. Ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà kájé gbígbá ayé jẹ. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó. À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó. News and sports, ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó gbójú ògbó. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú aláyọ̀ ni ló ní kí n máa ké jọba. Koikimedia, ọ̀rọ̀ lágbàdì mọ̀ mi. Máa bá ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni ọmọ Yorùbá àtàkà rẹ̀. Àgbàdùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú aláyọ̀ ni sẹ́yìn lọ́ máa fi dìbò ọ̀bẹ mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀. Igbó máa wọ̀ dájọ́ tí ó gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ẹ̀ bọ́ra. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ náwó òyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́kun pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia, sáwà ní bàbá. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Àdáńtọ́, àtòkèrè gidi. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọgbọ́ o. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Àkújà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Ọmọ Òdùwà ni wá o. Bọ́kọ̀bọ̀kọ̀. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Ikú tó ṣe bí lékè òsì, àdìmú bàbá yọ. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. We bring you one closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ òun tó kàn yọkọ̀ lára ni. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Àpèrè gèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa sí. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Gbogbo ayé ẹ̀gbọ́n, àwa ní bàbá o. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà ni wá o. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Òtútù alágbé dání, òtítọ́ lágbé dání. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Àbí sọ̀dálẹ̀, àbí sórí kẹta. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá. Àgọ́kọ̀, àgọ́kẹ̀rẹ̀ kékeré. Koikimedia will bring the world closer to us. Koikimedia is around to give us latest. Is around to give us latest. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ̀múkalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí ètò ìdójúkòjúkòjò. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ̀múkalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí ètò ìdójúkòjúkòjò. Koikimedia is around to give us latest.
Orí platform wa òun lẹ ti máa kọ́gbọ́n fẹ̀yìn tí ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Mo kí gbogbo wa látòrí bàbá wa Professor Akitoye. Mo tẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe program tẹ́lẹ̀, mo fẹ́ take a bit of time off again, but as usual ara wo kì í gbà, especially tí a bá wo àwọn nǹkan tí à ń jàǹfààní nílùú yìí. Ó máa ń fún wa ní inspiration láti wá bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀, especially èyí tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà tí à ń sọ fún pé Nàìjíríà ò lè work. Mo láǹfààní àti lọ sí parent meeting àwọn school àwọn ọmọ mi, and I was crying when I saw the standard of the environment. Nígbà tí a débẹ̀, mo ń wo building yẹn, àwa láǹfààní àti wọlé àjókòó. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fún wa ní báwọn ọmọ yẹn ṣe ń progress níléèwé, nínú maths, nínú English, nínú science. Mo wá ń fojú wo gbogbo no classroom yẹn, mo wá sunkún fún ìwọ tó ń accuse bàbá Akitoye àti Ìgbòho. Tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ ń accuse mi, it's okay. Tó bá jẹ́ pé mi lè accuse, it's fine. In 1,000 years tó bá wà nínú Nàìjíríà, o lè ní standard tí àwọn ọmọ tèmi ní nílùú yìí ní public school, o tó bẹ́ẹ̀. O lè ever rí standard yẹn. Kódà àwọn school tó ti ń san 42 million ní Lagos State, the highest paid school fees. Kódà tó bá ṣògùn owó, ò ní lè mọ́ ọmọ ẹ lọ síbẹ̀. Ó dà pé ẹ̀gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ. Mo jókòó sínú classroom yẹn, mo wá ń wọnú classroom yẹn, mo wá ń imagine pé ǹjẹ́ àwọn tí à ń pètò fún pé a fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, ǹjẹ́ mọ̀ tó ń bọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, torí pé education system tí bàbá Akitoye fi sọ fún wa nínú the good news path to prosperity orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, in 1,000 years ẹ lè experience tí mo rí ní classroom àwọn ọmọ mi, ẹ lè experience ẹ. Ṣé blackboard tó wà electronic ni mo fẹ́ sọ ni, àbí bí teacher ṣe ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ progression táwọn ọmọ Oòduà tọ́lọ́ dẹ̀ fún wọn ṣe, àbí the whole system tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa pé kódà àtẹni tó lówó àtẹni tó lówó kò ń ṣe dandan ni pé kó mọ́mọ́ lọ sí private school, privilege ni àfọmọ tó bá ní scholarship. Wọ́n wá bìkan náà àwọn ọmọ yẹn pé kí ni value nǹkan tó fẹ́. Mo wá ń wo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí bàbá Akitoye tó ń sọ fún yín pé Tinubu ò lè fún yín ní value fún education nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Èmi ò sọ lẹ̀ Nàìjíríà o. bí Tinubu bá lọ́dún mẹ́jọ o lè ever enjoy value education táwọn ọmọ mi ń jàǹfààní nílùú yìí. o lè máa argue pé ṣé tí a bá gba Yorùbá nation kọ́ ṣé wọ́n máa ríru value yẹn, á jẹ́ pé a ti curtail ara wa within the southwest. À lè ṣe system tó máa wà better ju UK lọ. mo ń bọ̀. mo wá ń wo àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn tíṣà àwọn tó ń sọ fún mi. mo wá ń sunkún pé ìjọmọ Yorùbá ó gbọ́ àgbọ́yé pé education tí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ pé ká fi kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti the ground pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Oòduà. ó wá bà mí nínú jẹ́. Triple DRC ni, you need to know how many times they have to call me anytime that my son is late to college. Lóòótọ́ ó wà lára tí wọ́n bá wa sọ náà torí traffic lẹ́ǹkọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn ọmọ yẹn late lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta. Àmọ́ wọ́n ń ṣe dáadáa níléèwé. Àwọn ọmọ tiwa náà tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tá à ń pè Nàìjíríà lénìí, ta ní ká switch láti Nàìjíríà padà sílẹ̀ Yorùbá kí a lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n jàǹfààní irú western education tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ fún wọn with the tech tó wà nínú education system. But intẹ́yìn rí ni pé wọ́n náà fẹ́ ṣe rally wọ́n fẹ́ kówó jẹ. tó ti gbàgbé pé èmi ò sanwó school nílùú yìí fáwọn ọmọ mi, ọ̀fẹ́ ni. Lóòótọ́ àwọn other things tí wọ́n need a gbọ́dọ̀ rà fún wọn. Tí mo ò bá láǹfààní pé mo ní owó, ó ti di dandan pé kí ìlú yìí provide fún wọn. But lẹ́yìn pé ara uniform, ara school bag, ara jacket, ara bàtà tó bá ní ni o, torí àwọn kan wà nílùú yìí náà tí wọ́n tẹ̀ ní rárá láti lè afford láti ra gbogbo nǹkan yẹn. Wọ́n ti ṣe provision fún wọn. Ǹjẹ́ President Bọ́lá Tinubu lè ṣe provision fún gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kí a ní education system kó sọ fún àwọn gómìnà pé kó make education, torí a rí irọ́ tí Ọ̀ṣínbàjò pa fún wa nígbà tó ṣọdún mẹ́jọ pẹ̀lú Buhari. Mo wá ń wo lára àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n bá mi discuss nípa àwọn ọmọ Oòduà. Mo wá ní ǹjẹ́ àwọn ọmọ yìí àti àwọn ọmọ tó ń bẹ nílé tí wọ́n jọ ní làákàyè, ǹjẹ́ tá bá jọ gbé wọn together lénìí, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n lè wà on the same page? Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n lè wà on the same pace? Nítorí pé standard tí àwọn ọmọ yìí wà níbí báyìí, wọ́n ń lọ in the accordant to bí system ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ kó lọ. Ǹjẹ́ system Nàìjíríà ó ń tó pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ní south west ní gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀, ǹjẹ́ àwọn náà ní the same system tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe progression fún wọn? Mo wá ní màá wá share pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá bóyá eléyìí máa prepare yín pé kájọ ṣe àbí kẹ́ ní ní kankan tẹ́ fi ṣe. Ó wá tún wá dùn mọ́ mi nú pé lẹ́nìí a professional ọmọ Yorùbá kan pè mí. Ó máa láǹfààní àti gbọ́díò yìí torí màá sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí. Mo wá pray pé a máa rí àwọn professionals bẹ́ẹ̀ náà tó máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. So ìwọ tó wà nílé tó ní ò darapọ̀, it's okay, but professional ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa nítorí pé ẹni tí ó bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nìí mo ti connected pẹ̀lú Ẹ̀mọ́lá tó jẹ́ the deputy chairman, chartered accountant, ACCA. Ó wá mọ̀ tó jẹ́ kó wà unique ni pé China ló ti ń ṣe 6 months, a wá padà wá ṣe 6 months ní UK. That blew my head away. 12 years is on that same path. A lò oṣù mẹ́fà ní China as a lecturer, a wá lò oṣù mẹ́fà ní UK. Ìjẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ tá à ń sọ pé kíran Yorùbá kó tètè kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Ǹjẹ́ mọ feelings táwa ṣe ń feel àbẹ́ kan wò pé nítorí àwọn rally tá fẹ́ ṣe tó máa make nǹkan tó wà unique ẹ̀ ń sọ pé a fẹ́ fi kówó jẹ. Arákùnrin wa pè mí, mo ò mọ̀ rí, a sọ̀rọ̀ rí, àmọ́ ó ní ọmọ Yorùbá lòun, ó dẹ̀ wòun pé kóun náà darapọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tóun gbọ́ àwọn program tá à ń ṣe. Chartered accountant, ACCA. Torí mo question ẹ̀, mo bí pé kí ló ń ṣe ní China. Ó ní òun máa ń lọ lecture àwọn student ní China láti fi kọ́ ACCA. Sórí ibi tí brain power ọmọ Yorùbá dé. Ìwọ wá ń takú fún bàbá Akíntóyè Alànà tó ń sọ fún wa pé ọmọ Yorùbá ló ní the global world. But tá bá sì wà nínú Nàìjíríà, a lè progress. Tá bá sì wà nínú Nàìjíríà, a lè progress. Ìyá wa Comfort Ológunjà tó wá ń jẹ́ kó yé mi pé we can have a better education in Yoruba land. Wọ́n náà wọ́n lọ sí free primary school in the late 60s títí dé 70s, which was standard. Mo wá ń wo gbogbo iṣẹ́ táwọn ọmọ yìí ń ṣe nílé ìwé. Mo wá ń sunkún sínú pé ǹjẹ́ tá a bá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà torí pé àwọn kan ní wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí wa. Mo wá ṣèrántí tí bàbá Akíntóyè sọ pé wọ́n máa fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí wa láti fẹ́ fi bà wá nú jẹ́ kí a má lè progress, ká má lè tẹ̀síwájú. Pé kò sí nǹkan kan tẹ́ lè sọ sí wa tó gbọ́dọ̀ bí wá nú. Kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè sọ sí wa tá gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣe ìbínú, nítorí pé ọ̀nà àbáyọ kan tó kù òun ni pé kí olúkálùkù kó lọ separate. Ìwọ tó bá láǹfààní àti tó wá gbọ́ tẹ̀sán yìí tí mo dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ kó yẹ pé ẹni tí mo bá kò ṣe pé àìtí wọ akọ̀ máa ń rí nígbà míì torí ẹ mọ̀ páwa bàbá abízì and attend àwọn kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, but èmi mo láǹfààní àti attend ti èyí tí mo lọ yìí. Mo wá jókòó, mo wọnú classroom yẹn títí túrà àtàfin bá mi sọ̀rọ̀. Mo kàn ń wo pé chalk lásán, chalk tó fi ń kọ̀ọ̀kan ní blackboard ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni, it is hardly found. Kàmáì tí wàá sọ àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ ló chalk mọ́, àwọn tí ń lo electronic in the classroom láti fi ṣe communication between the student and the teacher. Teacher yẹn tún wá ń jẹ́ kó yé mi pé àwọn àǹfààní kan tó ń bẹ tá bá nídẹ̀ kí n jẹ́ káwọn mọ̀, káwọn send ẹ̀ sínú email mi pé àwọn àǹfààní kan wà tí mo ní láti disclose online. Pé àwọn àǹfààní wà fáwọn àwọn tó ń gbé nílùú ìmọ̀ràn àwọn àǹfààní tí mo sọ yẹn láti fi ran àwọn ọmọ yìí lọ́wọ́ láti lè jẹ́ kí progression wọn kó lè wà top notch, nítorí pé àwọn ọmọ tí à ń sọ yìí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kó compete pẹ̀lú àwọn tí àràgbà arákùnrin tó lọ ń kọ́ ní China. Nígbà tó ọmọ Yorùbá gbéra tó lọ ń ṣe oṣù 6, mo ní ṣó gbọ́ èdè ni, ó náà wọ́n gbọ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀, ó ní but English làwọn fi ń kọ́ wọn ní ACCA ní China. And these are the kind of professionals tá à ń sọ pé ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ ìrìn àjò yìí. Mo á jẹ́ kó rí yé arákùnrin yẹn pé ọ̀tọ̀ ní ká máa ní ànídòwó, but we need the professionals. The professionals, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ darapọ̀ mọ́ movement yìí, ẹ má yọra yín sílẹ̀. It is part of how we can liberate the people, because àwọn tó wà nílé, they have been kept below par. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ibi wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fàlérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré ka update tó wá láti Benin Republic látọ̀dọ̀ bàbá wa Professor Akintoye with the interview tó granting àwọn paper ní Benin tó lọ láti Nigeria. 60 million Yoruba are ready to exit Nigeria. 60 million Yoruba people, and this is coming out from today. Mukiba Badada, like I said, is a privilege. Láti máa láǹfààní àti bá the leader of the movement sọ̀rọ̀ lóòrèkóòrè. Èmi àti bàbá a sì sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá, ara lè koko ni. Bàbá ní a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣàárẹ̀ lórí ìyàwó àwọn tó kú. Wọ́n ní kò gbọ́dọ̀ sú wa, kò gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ wá. Wọ́n ní gbogbo gbàtà bá ti fẹ́ bá jẹ́ kó rẹ̀ wá, ká máa gbọ́n tí màmá sọ fún wa pé kò gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ odò. Torí pé a gbọ́dọ̀ kóra wa jáde kúrò nínú ìlú àdáwọ̀n, ìlú òfò, ìlú tó ti bayé jẹ́, ìlú tí ẹ lè ever enjoy the same education system táwọn ọmọ Oòduà enjoy nílùú ẹ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ni mo sọ, tẹ́ ẹ̀ sanwó fún. Ẹja gbọ́n tí bàbá sọ ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú lórí ìrìn àjò tèmi. The leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, Professor Adebanji Akintoye, has vowed that the movement will not give up on its quest for Yoruba nation. Màá ṣe analysis ẹ̀ dáadáa, ẹ jẹ́ ká délẹ̀. According to Professor Akintoye, about 60 million Yoruba people, both at home and in the diaspora, supported the quest to establish a Yoruba nation as a sovereign country. Speaking with the Punch newspaper, Monday, 6 January 2025, Professor Adebanji Akintoye said, "We are not going back. We must leave Nigeria or our nation will perish." Don't you hear our voice in the street with a question mark? Yoruba nation, now, no going back. We mean the Yoruba people in Nigeria, roughly 55 to 60 million people. We want to establish a country of our own. There will be no Nigeria where we have our country. But if the rest want to continue as Nigeria, they are okay to do so. Asked about last year letter written to the government of the United Kingdom concerning the movement and agitation, Professor Akintoye said it received an acknowledgement from the UK government that it was being attended to. We knew from the beginning that we are dealing with one of the most powerful governments in the world, which is the United Kingdom. And it is not something you can expect a response two in a month or two. But we have got a general kind of acknowledgement that our letter was being attended to. We got the acknowledgement on a date after we submitted the letter. It is the British government. We cannot rush them, so that does not mean they are not giving it the needed importance. They are doing it their own way, Professor Akintoye said. In a similar letter written to the Nigerian government requesting a peaceful breakaway, Professor Adebanji Akintoye said it had evidence that its letter was causing some panic within the government. Yes, the Nigerian government are working on it. We know that they are working on it, and we have seen evidence that our letter is causing them some trouble, but they don't have to have any trouble with us. The United Nations Declaration of the Right of Indigenous People affirms that very clearly that every indigenous people in the world have the right to self-determination and separation from their country to which they are currently belong. That they must do it peacefully and not violently and in a destructive manner. And we are following those directions very carefully, Professor Akintoye said. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣe àlàyé lé lórí. It is now confirmed from the leader himself that the British government has acknowledged the letter and they are working on it. What letter are we talking about? The letter that Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho at 1400 hours on October 12 in the history of Yoruba people that have lived in the UK deliver what we call one of the highest documents. Some call it petition, some call it letter, but something was very unique about it. It's got to do with the Yoruba people asking, requesting, making their quest known to the world, mostly United Kingdom, that we are ready to exit the Nigeria amalgamation that was put together in 1914. Quite a lot of people went further to say, why would you want to take a letter to the UK, knowing fully well that the country is the same country that merged us together and they are not likely to let us go? We have not come to the UK to ask them to intervene alone, but we are giving them the information ahead that the Yoruba people are demanding their right under the right of self-determination. Many Nigerians still want to know what is the content, rather than asking what will be the outcome of that letter. Because the outcome of that letter that the British government is still looking into, and like Professor said in this press release, as much as we have been giving an acknowledgement to the letter, and you're hearing this for the very first time, Ishem Lola Bele. You are hearing these for the very first time. For those of you that are in doubt, that letter received its acknowledgement. Yes. But there was no need, since the leader will be the one to tell us at an appropriate when it should be announced. Letter that gbé lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ United Kingdom received its acknowledgement. Do I know about it? I will leave you to guess on that. sọ fún yín pé brain power Yorùbá àfi wọn Nàìjíríà through the Professor Akintoye and tẹ̀síwájú ni. But as the British government responded back, they have not yet responded because the contents of that letter kò ṣe ẹ̀rù ọmọdé. They have no other choice than to look into it, vet it very well before they can even pen back Baba Akintoye. Kó tó lè response sí Baba Akintoye, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ mọ tó fẹ́ kọ sí Baba Akintoye padà. Lórí lẹ́tà tá gbé lọ yẹn, they must sit back, review it with the king of this country before they can write Baba Akintoye back. And we will let you know when that happens. But Baba ń jẹ́ kó yé wa pé that has not yet happened because we are dealing with one of the most sophisticated countries in the world. Tó bá dẹ̀ ní àwọn tó mọ̀ nípa diplomacy, UK is part of it. And that letter is on the highest diplomatic that you can ever think of. The highest. And if you're still in doubt, when Yoruba ma kúrò nínú Nigeria, you better start understanding that what is now needed is for us to push out on the street peacefully and demand gbogbo ọmọ Yoruba that in tó ń ṣe wá òní pa fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nigeria. That is the only other option to add to more of what is happening and what will happen. Because diplomacy will be part of this movement. Diplomacy, as it is being requested in the world, will be used. And that is exactly what Baba Akintoye and his team are doing. So let's start reviewing the letter or this press release to jáde lélẹ̀ from the leader of the movement himself. Like I said, I was aware that this is coming out because I was in close contact with Professor as at yesterday when this was being prepared. Money privilege that we cannot abuse. So you might wake up one day while buried in the Yoruba country in Musabe. Because our demands must be met, but without you supporting that movement, it will be difficult. Kò ń ṣe Baba Akintoye nìkan ló náà fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Kò ń ṣe Ìgbòho nìkan ló náà fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n náà fẹ́ Yorùbá country, ó fẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, you will then have no other choice. Tó bá ti lu aago, a gbọ́dọ̀ fi wọ̀n pé gbogbo wa la fẹ́. That is the reason why we are calling for the rally. So ìwọ tó ń sọ pé ṣé rally ló kàn? O tí mọ̀ tó wà tó kàn, because in tó kàn ni pé ká sọ fún gbogbo àgbáyé pé kò ń ṣe àwọn méjì nìkan lọ́nà àwọn fẹ́ country. Gbogbo wa la jọ fẹ́. How many of us in each of our ìpínlẹ̀? That will determine you whether you want it or not. So it is entirely up to you to take the message to every community, to every local government. Láti lọ sọ fún wa pé we are on the final track láti kúrò nínú Nigeria. Ìgbà wo ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀? I have no idea. Subject to who and you tàbá ti jọ sọ pé a fẹ́. Tàbá dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ fẹ́, o lè ever enjoy classroom tí mo ní àti jókòó sí tó jẹ́ classroom àwọn ọmọ mi ó kàn máa wò lórí social media ni wọ́n tí tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ṣerú standard classroom yẹn sí anywhere in Yoruba land àfi tá a bá kúrò nínú Nigeria. So tó bá sọ pé o ò fẹ́ kí Yorùbá exit Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu ò lè fún yín ní a standard classroom fáwọn ọmọ yín láti lè ní education system. Kódà the highest paid school fees tó ń pè ní 42 million tó bẹ́ẹ̀ láti rí 42 million in the next years and years tọ́lọ́jọ́ máa fi dé wá bẹ́ẹ̀. Torí èmi ò mọ̀ èlò tó ń sọ fún yín tó fẹ́ rí 42 million. That is the highest paid school fees is in Lagos State. 42 million lọ́pẹ́ èmi rí mo rí fídíò yẹn lórí Twitter. So if you now say that o fẹ́ Yorùbá country, o fẹ́ live ìgbésí ayé tó dáa, o lè fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ìgbésí ayé tó dáa, kọ́ ní standard bí Koiki ṣe ń tì sí yín lójú tó ń tìbọ̀ yín lójú, àwọn ọmọ yìí ti jẹun nísìn. Hello, ọmọ Òdùà. Oi, come here. One by. The two of you, come here. ẹ wá dúró sí bíbá. Robert, what did you eat?
Rat.
And what? What was in the wrap?
Chicken tenders.
And what sauce did you use?
Burger sauce and sweet and sour.
What did you eat?
Rat.
Okay. What was the sauce you used?
Sweet and sour.
What drink did you have?
Apple juice.
Hello, joke about TV. As long as your children will not die in a stampede, as long as your children can have a standard education, as long as your children can have a better welfare in Nigeria, then need láti jáde tó bá ti ní ká jáde. All you need to do is just sit back, kò ní kò sí tó pọ̀ pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation. But tó bá mọ̀ pé àwọn ọmọ ò lè ní standard, ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ kọ́ ní standard, then you will come out and ask together with the millions of the Yoruba people that are making their demands and their requests under our leader, Professor Adebanji Akitoye, as we continue to look into this press release to Jadeleni. Let's go further with more analysis on it. Baba Akitoye jẹ́ kó yé wa pé Yoruba self-determination as vow. Tó bá sọ pé vow, Victor Oscar Whiskey Echo Delta. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, don't use that. Ẹ máa ní VOWED. Kí ló ń pè ní vow? Ìjà lè ná gbé Yorùbá nation dání ká tún máa ná fẹ́ ṣe politics. No, we demand something, we stay on that until our demands are met. Ká demand wa bá ti meet, tó meet demands wa, then we are not going back, which is our slogan. Lost anywhere. We will remain where we are in all our ìpínlẹ̀ until our demands are met by both the federal, our House of Representatives, and our governors. So let us all prepare for what is going to play out in 2025. But Eleoshe ọ̀rọ̀ Olóyè Igboho kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ Baba Akitoye. It is about you, me, and the rest of the Yoruba people, both in the diaspora and both at home. And let's quickly look into the meaning of vow. Taba sọ pé vow, kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Taba ní vow, VOWED. What is the full meaning according to the English dictionary? Quickly. Because something is very important that we learn as the words are being used. This is still Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ó fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa Yorùbá nation ni, o gbọ́dọ̀ tètè mọ̀ nípa dáadáa nísìn kó má bàa di ẹni tí ò ní mọ̀ tó ń lọ nínú ẹ̀. Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣe ti Baba Akitoye nìkan àti ti Igboho. Vow. The word vow.
Vow.
Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, tá bá sọ pé the word
vow.
The past tense òun ni vow. The lẹ́yìn. Tó bá ní vow, it is something that is very important. But kí ni meaning ẹ̀? Solemnly promise to do specified thing. So what are we promising? We are promising that we want Yoruba nation and we are not going back on that. Kò sí nǹkan tí àwọn government fẹ́ bá wa sọ, kò sí tí international community fẹ́ bá wa sọ. Gbogbo tí demand wa bá fẹ́, òun ni àwọn ni kó bá wa look into. And that's exactly what we are saying. And what is our demand? A fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, kò ní any reason tá gbọ́dọ̀ wà nínú ẹ̀. A dẹ̀ ní láti ṣẹ̀pẹ́ nínú ẹ̀ ká máa ṣe sọ pé a fẹ́ kọ́kọ́ lọ ṣe restructure, a fẹ́ lọ ṣe rerunning, a fẹ́ lọ rewind, no. Our demands must be met under the international law so that we can use that to give standard to all our loved ones. Is me okay. To all our loved ones, both in the diaspora and outside. So the word vow is solemnly promise to do Yoruba Nation. I vowed myself to this enterprise. That is now using the past tense, which is with the ed laying. And many people use the word vowed when they get married, when you do all kind of things. But the reason Tiba Bakito is saying low on this is because it to make a solemnly vowed declaration of intent. She vowed to love him forever. Awati vowed the Yoruba Nation. You okay? Yoruba Nation. Òun nìkan ni I need láti máa campaign lé lórí. We don't need any other thing because the country is not working for us. Kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè sọ. We come back to if we are telling you that the country will be attacked and sọ pé rọ́là ń pa. Tàbá ṣe program ẹ máa ní oríwọ̀ pé nǹkan ṣe wá orí ẹ̀yìn tí ẹ̀dẹ̀ wà nílé ni ẹ ní láti understand pé the country is dead if they can attack the military barracks. Wọ́n ì tí sọye sójà tó kú fún wa. I don't have the numbers but my investigation is still going on. I met online the chief of staff ó wà ní Doha. Ó ń parọ́ fún wọn ní Al Jazeera but everything is fine while they are attacking the Nigerian military back home. The video is on Al Jazeera. Mo ní bíbá in international media yín tó bá ṣe ń káàkiri tó ń sá lọ anywhere tó fi lọ presentation Nigeria. We will make sure that we come out and tell the international community. Ó dẹ̀ ti ní òun ready kó gbóhùn lọ sí international criminal court. Mo ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀ yẹn later. That is your chief of staff. The chief of defense staff rather. What interview ní Al Jazeera gbogbo tó sọ for the past 40 minutes irọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ ní òun ready láti lọ sí international criminal court. A dẹ̀ máa gbé wọn débẹ̀. Because while he was lying, Nigerian military were being killed in Borno state. Kò dẹ̀ ṣe Borno nìkan. Because mo sọ fún yín pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀ nírọ́ ni mò ń pa. Wọ́n ti ń lo IED ní school tó pààyàn méjì. Èèyàn méjì lọ sọ fún yín. I will just leave it like that. This happened in the FCT capital. Oh, gbọ́ news yẹn pé wọ́n fi IED. Kí ló ń pè ní IED? Ìwọ sì ní sùúrù. Jẹ́ àparí tí bàbá Akíntóyè sọ. Bẹ̀kọ́ mo sọ fún yín pé tí wọ́n bá ń parọ́ fún yín nílé, Koikimedia máa debunk gbogbo rọ́ wọn. Tó o bá wá lè bá wa gbé ọ́díò yìí lọ síbi tó yẹ kó rìn dé títí dọ́dọ̀ àwọn tiwọn náà á jẹ́ pé ò sí lára movement nìyẹn. Because gbogbo ilẹ̀ ń sọ pé ẹ gbọ́ wa we are now making sure that it is going in the audio format. Let's go further. Back to Baba Akíntóyè quickly. Let's see. As we continue to review why the Yoruba people needs to leave Nigeria now before kó tó di pé wọ́n máa wá invade yín. Because the military barrack that was invaded kò ń ṣojú lásán. We told you a week ago that Australia sọ fún wa pé ká wà very careful in Nigeria. I came out, I did the program. It is not even up to 2 weeks. Kò tí pé 1 week tí Australia warn àwọn citizen wọn pé ẹ má ṣeré lọ sí Borno. We saw the military barracks being attacked. But that is not where we are still standing on right now. We are still talking about why the Yoruba people need now to exit Nigeria before it is too late. We have no business with Nigeria. Nigeria failed. It has expired. And the Yoruba people needs to leave now. Let's go back. See, ọ̀rọ̀ Baba Akíntóyè. 60 million Yoruba people are ready. Babani vowed that the movement will not give up. Mo ti sọ meaning vow. Tí ẹ bá ní bàbá, ó ti gba this, ó ti ṣe this, ó ní vow. But Yoruba Nation movement. How are you? You okay? That was good today. What do you need to do quickly?
That's fine.
Hold on. And? And daddy? Yeah. It was. You want me to toast it? Yeah, I'll help you to clean it. Just to toast it, right? Ọmọ tiẹ̀ náà bá ṣàti lè dé láti ilé ìwé tó lè jẹun kékeré ní tó kù bọ̀ tó ọba ti lè jẹun tó dé láti iléèwé tó ṣe yún rí tó ń bẹ ẹni oúnjẹ tó ń sọ pé kò sóúnjẹ nu ilé a jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ṣiṣẹ́ fún ènìyàn. But continue to live in denial. Continue to live in denial. Continue to be told that Nigeria is working when you know that the country is dead. Ètò bá dẹ̀ ti kú, what you do is you bury it. Bury Nigeria so that the life of millions of us will be better. Let's continue. According to Baba Akintoye, gẹ́gẹ́ bí n tó sọ, wọ́n ní gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó pé 60 million, èmi ọmọ yẹn ní Yorùbá, nílé àti ní ẹ̀yìn odi ni wọ́n sọ̀pọ́tì pé kíran Yorùbá kó dá dúró láti lè dá orílẹ̀-èdè tiwọn sílẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ kí a dá orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa sílẹ̀? Ṣó wà lára àwọn tó ń takò? Ṣó wà lára àwọn tó ń sọ pé orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá àsìkò tí tó? Kí ni ìdí tó ṣe ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Kí ni ìdí tó ṣe ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀? Kí ni ìdí tó jẹ́ pé alátakò kí Yorùbá dá dúró kó yọ rẹ̀ kúrò nínú orílẹ̀-èdè kan tó ń pè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n sọ èdè kan náà, tí wọ́n ń ṣẹ̀yà kan náà? Kí a lè jẹ́ ẹ̀yà kan náà, kí a wà lójú kan ní gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀, láti ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara, ìpínlẹ̀ Kogi, lọ sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo, padà sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, dé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, dé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, padà sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn state, tá a máa fi dé ìpínlẹ̀ Lagos state. Ìyẹn ò ń ṣe tó fẹ́, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Kí ló fẹ́ gangan? Èyí tó fẹ́ ni pé ká wà nínú Nàìjíríà tí àwọn ọmọ yín ò lè lọ sí school tó wà standard, táwọn ọmọ yín ò lè rí jẹ, tó lè rí mu, tó dé láti iléèwé àbí tó tẹ̀ lọ rárá, tó ń ta wóróbo kiri ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, tó fẹ́ pín 5,000 tó bá jẹ́ pé ibi tí ìlú tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó fẹ́ pín 5,000 fún yẹn ó jẹ́ kó máa gbà níbi benefit ni kó máa wọnú àkáǹtì wọn ní every week. Mo ní bàbá àǹtí brother sister ọ̀rẹ́ pè wọ́n ní UK, mo mọ̀ ní South America, pé ǹjẹ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn wọ́n fún wọn ní benefit ní every week ní ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀. Èyí tó bá níwọ̀ fún wọn a jẹ́ pé bóyá ó nídìí díẹ̀, torí pé ọmọ tó ò níwèé gan nílùú yìí wọ́n fún ní benefit, ó kàn máa ní díẹ̀. Tí bá dẹ̀ sọ pé benefit kò ń ṣe gbogbo benefit, torí mo mọ tí mò ń sọ. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí fún gbogbo èyí tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa, a ṣe ń sọ nípa Baba Akintoye. What do you want with it? Where's your sister? Ṣé bọ́tà ló fẹ́? Ìyàtọ̀ bọ́tà dẹ̀ wà fi spread. So ìyàtọ̀ ní méjèèjì ní differences. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ìrìnàjò Yorùbá nation tí Baba Akintoye ní Jan. That's the name. Mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí lórí ìkànnì Koikimedia. Baba Akintoye jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nílé àti tó ń bẹ lóko ló nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí Yorùbá nation. Ṣé wọ́n wà lára àwọn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí, àti pé kí ló dé tó ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí? What is the reason that you are an obstacle? Is it because the current administration that will expire, just like we saw Osinbajo 8 years that expired? The 8 years of our loved son, the brilliant one, the most intelligent one among the government of Buhari, expired. And I don't think that it has changed any landmark in Yoruba land today. After Osinbajo ṣe 8 good years in government, I'm not able to point even in Remo Shagamu that this is what he has been able to put there in any kind of structure. So what is going to be the difference by the time Tinubu complete his own? Can we guarantee that by the time Tinubu complete his own, our life will be better? I'm sure you know the answer to that. Let's go further. Baba Akintoye ń bá àwọn ìwé ìròyìn sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní kí ni èdè tá fi ń sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, òun ni pé we are not. Àwọn wo ni we? Ìyẹn máa happen nígbà tó bá ní ká jáde. Kọ́ ní ká jáde tán. Then ẹ̀yin náà sọ fún mi pé Koiki, ṣé wọ́n ló máa ní ká jáde ni? Ẹ̀yin kọ́ ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí yà ń jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà, kò ń ṣẹ̀yìn tí yà ò jẹ, torí kò ń ṣe gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ni yà ń jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà. But ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ pé yà ń jẹ, tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí o gbé ìgbésí ayé tó dáa, tó bá ti ní kó jáde ó ní right láti jáde tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé ó jáde ìyẹn ò ní dá iṣẹ́ dúró fáwọn tó fẹ́ jáde. But the more the numbers the better. So ẹ ní láti máa send audio sí mi ẹ ní láti máa pè mí nínú audio yín. I am not interested because àwọn tí wọ́n lè gbé ní standard tí àwọn ọmọ tèmi gbé nílùú òyìnbó, and don't expect them to come down and do a rally for you. Àwọn ọmọ yóò ní wá sí Nàìjíríà láti wá bá ṣe rally. They have no reason to come down. So tó bá ń expect pé àwọn ọmọ kan ń bọ̀ láti UK àti gbogbo ọmọ diaspora bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí diaspora kan ń bọ̀, ọmọ ìyá máa jẹ ṣégè sí gbogbo yín lára. Tó bá ń dúró pé diaspora kan máa wálé láti wá fara kàn yín pé kẹjọ jáde fún rally, tó bá jẹ́ pé yẹn lè dúró dè, ìyá máa jẹ ṣégè sí gbogbo yín lára. Torí àwọn tó bá máa wá, there will be just 1% out of the diaspora tó ń bẹ níta. None of them is gonna come. But ọ̀nà wo ló lè fi ràn yín lọ́wọ́? Òun ni pé kó help movement láti lè ṣe kíni, láti lè fún wọn ní gbogbo tó bá need ní as at the time tí wọ́n bá ní kó fún wọn ní support. That is all they can do. Don't expect the diaspora to buy a ticket and come to Nigeria and do a rally on your behalf. Torí pé kíni? Gbogbo ibi tí àwọn èèyàn ti ń jáde ní gbogbo àgbáyé, ẹ̀yin rí àwọn diaspora àwọn tó wá sílé ni. Ṣèbá àárín wọn ní Mozambique, àárín wọn ní South Africa, àárín wọn ní other African countries around the world and also other countries around the world. Níbo lẹ ti rí kí diaspora wá? The diaspora will come out in their own country tó bá wà. Má expect diaspora tó ń gbé ní UK kó máa bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Inú UK ló ti máa ṣe rally, inú America ló ti máa ṣe rally. And many other countries tó bá permitted, torí kò ṣe gbogbo òlu ló permitted, ẹ lè ṣe rally ní Dubai ní United Arab Emirates. So ìwọ tó ń sọ pé ò ní jáde fún rally pé torí pé diaspora tó ń push yín, máa jókòó sínú ilé, because ìyà ò jẹ diaspora, ìyà ò jẹ diaspora, ẹ̀yin nìyà ń jẹ, ẹ̀yin gangan lẹ wà nínú danger. Olóyè ò sí nínú danger, àwọn ọmọ olóyè ò sí nínú danger, bàbá Akíntóyè ò sí nínú danger, àwọn ọmọ bàbá Akíntóyè ò sí nínú danger, àwọn ọmọ bàbá Akíntóyè ò lè ní sí nínú danger, because bàbá ti ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ̀ fún wọn. Ìgbà tó yẹ kí bàbá máa jókòó kó máa relax ni bàbá gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation dání pẹ̀lú àwọn àgbàlagbà díẹ̀ tó tẹ̀lé, but àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àgbàlagbà ní in tó ń ṣe yẹn kò tí ì sí ọ̀nà níbẹ̀ torí pé ibẹ̀ làwọn ti ń jẹ. So ìwọ táwọn sọ fún pé kò jáde fún rally tó ń gbọ́ audio táwọn tó ń ṣe audio nínú Nàìjíríà tí ò mọ bóyá rituals ló ń ṣe tọ́lọ̀ pa àmà lówó nínú ẹ̀, èèyàn lówó tíyàn bá gé orí èèyàn. You have the system that works. System ló máa sọ yín dolówó, ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ lè dolówó nínú ìlú tí kò ní system tí owó orí yẹn tó ń devalue ní every second. As at today, owó ti di 2,060 naira per pound. Bàbá Akíntóyè wá sọ fún àwọn ìwé ìròyìn tó gbẹnu ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ pé we are not going back, àwa ò padà sẹ́yìn. We must leave Nigeria. A gbọ́dọ̀ fi Nigeria sílẹ̀ ká má bàa parun sínú ẹ̀. Torí inú ìparun ni Nigeria wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Tó o bá sí nínú ìparun ni ṣèbó gbọ́ etí òdi pé wọ́n attack military barrack for 2 hours. Kò ń ṣe 1 hour, kò ń ṣe 30 minutes. 2 hours. Tó bá ní irọ́ lápá pé kò ṣe 2 hours. Ẹni kan gbé statement jáde pé that attack tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní military barrack kò pé 2 hours. Ẹni kan jáde bẹ́ẹ̀. We are still working with our internal àmọ́káwá náà ní gbogbo náà ní bẹ́ẹ̀. So àwọn information kan wà tó ń mú fún wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, but tó o bá wá rí information kankan, the evidence is out there. We saw the video, the dead bodies, wọ́n ti move wọn. Wọ́n ní méjìlá ló kú, let's even assume pé méjìlá ló kú, but a mọ̀ pé tó bá sọ pé 12 people died, you know what that means. This happened in the military barracks. Military barracks. And that reminds me of what the late Malafia said. Ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń sọ pé kò lè happen. The late Malafia told us that it will happen when they are ready by the time they finish the rural area. Wọ́n ti parí rural area. Gbogbo oko pátápátá àwọn èèyàn ò lè lọ sóko mọ́ tó bá lè sọ pé rọ́lá ń pa. We will continue to give you the evidence. Torí pé ta bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe lẹ́yìn kan máa ní ká keep quiet. Ẹ̀yin kan máa ní ká shut up because kí ni torí pé ẹ̀ ń feel pé àwa ta wà níta àwa là ń instigate problem tó wà ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé mi mo ní kí Boko Haram lọ attack Nigerian military? Ṣé mi mo ní kí DCSS àti àwọn nírùnìbádù kọ́ má lè rí intelligence to stop it before it occur? Am I the one? Ṣé mi ni mo ní kọ́ má lè stop ẹ̀ kó tó ṣẹlẹ̀? Àti pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n lè stop ẹ̀? if Nigeria is as strong as you think that Nigeria is as strong, but I want to say the Nigeria of 30 years ago, of 40 years, our military was strong. It has been infiltrated by the terrorists. Terrorists don't run Nigerian government. Listen, tó bá tó wá rí yẹn lọ sórí Twitter mi, a lè post sórí Facebook, wàá sunkún abiyamọ pẹ̀lú àwọn tí iná ti ràbò àtàwọn ọmọ kékèké, àwọn èèyàn wo fídíò yẹn wọ́n sunkún ni láti àárọ̀ tá ti post ẹ̀. Go on my Twitter now, kó lọ wo fídíò tí mo post àbí kó lọ sórí Koikimedia tó bá wò wá sunkún ọmọ. I don't even know how many people were affected. Our body to split out completely. Wọ́n ní gbogbo àwọn dọ́kítà tí wọ́n sì sá kúrò nínú clinic ọgbọ́n wọn lọ nígbà tó débẹ̀ báyìí àwọn yẹn ti sá dànù. Ìlú yẹn ni wọ́n wá ń sọ fáwa pé ó máa work. Àdé ń pariwo, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lójoojúmọ́, ẹ̀ ń complain pé ariwo tá à ń pa yẹn kò débi kankan. Pé sáriwo la máa pa ni. Listen to this. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí platform kan ẹ lè má lè gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, but ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́n tí màláfíà. Just to remind you that ó sọ pé tó bá parí rural area wọ́n máa jáde síta, wọ́n lè ti jáde síta, wọ́n wọnú barracks lọ, wọ́n pọ̀ bá. This year ló lè ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lẹ kò ń ṣe last year. Gbọ́n sókè.
Or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna.
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Okay. How will the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2.
Phase 2, yani military barracks.
Phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities.
Wọ́n jáde síta.
Going from house to house.
Ilé sílé.
Killing prominent people.
Pa gbogbo ẹni tó bá jẹ́ prominent people.
I can tell you.
Ó náà lè confirm ẹ̀.
By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
2 years after, tí a gbọ́ pé fídíò yìí ti ń trend. 2 years after, Boko Haram ṣì ní the audacity, the àtẹ̀mọ́rọ́ ìbúta lè lò to move into the military barracks, and they were there for 2 hours. Wákàtí méjì ni wọ́n fi operate. Oh la. Wọ́n operate fún 2 hours. Kò sí Nigerian Navy, kò sí helicopter, kò sí nǹkan tó lè wá gbà wọ́n. Ó mọ̀dí nítorí pé Nigeria is being operated as a non-entity right now. It's no longer a country. But many of you always come and argue that it is still going to work. And the question is, how? Ọ̀nà wo ló máa gbà work? Níbo ló fẹ́ gbà work sí? Àti pé nígbà wo gan ló máa work? Why are we living in denial? Kí ló dé tá ń parọ́ tí gbogbo wa dẹ̀ mọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí arákùnrin sọ fún wa some years back, the former defense chief of staff, C.Y. Danjuma.
Rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude.
Wọ́n ti darapọ̀.
They collude.
Wọ́n ti darapọ̀.
They collude
Wọ́n ti darapọ̀.
with the armed bandits.
pẹ̀lú àwọn asúmọ̀mí àwọn gbáyànpáyàn àwọn terrorists wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn wọ́n pa Nigerians àwọn gangan ni wọ́n ń ṣe ìrìn àjò wọn wọ́n bò wọ́n. tó bá ń dúró de Nigerian army kó wá gbà nílẹ̀ gbogbo yín pátá ni ikú máa pa. tó bá dúró de Nigerian army kó wá gbà nílẹ̀ gbogbo yín pátá ni ikú máa pa. jẹ́ àtúgbọ́ lẹ́ǹkan sí T.Y. Danjuma the former chief of army staff a máa padà sí ibi tí bàbá Akíntóyè ṣe sọ pé a lè wà nínú country báyìí. We cannot live in this kind of country that we will continue to be scared of our lives. That we will be worried that something is playing out and something is happening. And what are the things that is happening? Many things are happening. One of them is that Nigeria has become a crime scene. And until we leave it, our life will be better. If you refuse to let it go, you will be part one day, and one day o lè sọ pé wọ́n personally kọ́ gbogbo bí tí ọmọ Yorùbá kọ́ bá ti attack wọn gbogbo wa náà lọ́wọ́ attack gbọ́n kan títí wá dájú máa sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Every one of us.
gbogbo wa pátápátá we must dìde a gbọ́dọ̀ dìde.
The armed forces are not neutral.
àwọn Nigerian army wọ́n ti wà colluded wọ́n ti darapọ̀ mọ́ Fúlàní terrorists àmọ́ yàtọ̀ láàrin wọn mọ́ ẹ̀mẹ́ta ló sọ wọ́n ti collude pẹ̀lú àwọn làkúráwá àti àwọn wo àti gbogbo àwọn tó ń pè ní Boko Haram àti ISWAP àti ISIS ọmọ ìyá kan náà ni wọ́n there's nothing like bandits. wọ́n mọ bó ṣe ń rìn tó fi di pé wọ́n wọnú barracks military barracks not estate kò ń ṣe estate housing estate lọ́wọ́ wọ́n wọnú military barracks. tó bá ń dúró pé kó stop ẹ̀ gbogbo ìpátá ni kú máa pa èmi kọ́ mo sọ T.Y. Danjuma ló sọ ẹ jẹ́ àpadà sí tí bàbá Akíntóyè wá sọ. bàbá Akíntóyè wá jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ṣé ẹ̀gbọ́n táwọn èèyàn sọ lójú títì ni in táwọn èèyàn sọ ni pé no going back we must leave Nigeria or our nation will perish. ṣé o fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ìran Yorùbá kó wà perish ṣé n tó fẹ́ nìyẹn ṣé o fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kó wà perish? I'm sure most of us do not want that. Then tá a bá wá fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kí wá ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ. bàbá Akíntóyè wá tẹ̀síwájú. Remember that we are still asking you to support the platform financially. ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ìyẹn ó móríyá owó gangan ló jẹ́ kí iléeṣẹ́ kó wà standard láti lè make sure pé gbogbo tí ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ nísìn pé the chief of defence staff was in Doha. àwa mọ̀. How do we debunk it? It's part of a media job. And this is what every media lo ẹ kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí pé irọ́ ló lọ pa ní Doha ní Qatar. The chief of defence staff kò tí kúrò ní Qatar ni wọ́n ti attack barracks ẹ̀. And that is meant to be the chief of army staff or the chief of defence staff rather. Bàbá Akíntóyè wá sọ pé nígbà tí gbogbo wa ti ní lórí títì tó bá dé orí títì tó ń sọ fún ẹ pé political party ní irọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀ jẹgúrú jẹrá ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀. mo kí bàbá mi ọmọ Abíọ́dún Grace Chapel mo fojú pa yín rẹ́ gbogbo ẹni tó kù la máa kí a gbọ́dọ̀ appreciate àwọn medias. kí ni mò ń tẹ̀ láti fàyọ ni pé tá bá sì ń dúró pé nǹkan sọ lórí títì kó yàtọ̀ sí Yorùbá nation irọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀ àyà yàn ń já ni. ìyàwó kan pè mí nílé I had to call chief ìbànújẹ́ ló jẹ́ fún mi lára àwọn tájọ́ ń ṣe Yorùbá nation wọ́n ti threaten ẹ̀ ó wà lọ ń gbé ní uncompleted building wọ́n pè mí lórí video call pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ìyá ẹ̀dẹ̀ ní àwọn rẹ́dì láti fẹ̀mí àwọn sílẹ̀ gbogbo wa ẹ̀mí wa ó máa wà títí tá a máa fi délẹ̀ lérí but tó bá ní ká jáde tó ń sọ pé kò sí ìtókùn ẹ̀ Koiki ẹlẹ́nu já wáyà ṣé wọ́n ló máa kó wa jáde wò ó àwọn ọmọ tèmi kó sí bíbà wọ́n wá sílé nísìnyí o fat ló gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi yẹn àwọn tó ń kọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn lọ sílé kọ́dọ̀ bá máa ṣọ́ wọn lọ kó ṣọ́ wọn padà risk burúkú ni kí ni mo sọ èmi ò lè ká àwọn ọmọ wá sílé nísìn láyé èmi lè wá o èmi ilé ọmọ kì í bá bàbá lẹ́rù bọ̀ pé máa ká àwọn ọmọ Oòduà máa rọra flight ticket sí Nàìjíríà pé kọ́ wá ṣe kí ni So most of it wà nílé, the bulk of the problem Nigeria ló wà. Mo ní kò sórí social media láti máa gba Yorùbá country, orílẹ̀-èdè yẹn láti máa gbà, àwọn ọlájọ́ máa gbà, gbogbo àwọn tá believe in it. Eléyìí ń sọ̀rọ̀ olóyè Ìgbòho. Ìgbòho is just one individual. And there will be a lot you will hear from him. But for now, àwa la ní Yorùbá nation. Àwa nìkan ṣe. Ó yí àwọn kan lórí platform. Àwọn kan wà lórí platform báyìí nísìn. Wọ́n mọ tó ń play out. Àwọn kan dé náà wọn mọ̀. But in tó ń play out ni pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá náà fẹ́ Yorùbá country, you have the right to come out. Tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé òfẹ́ náà, that's fine. You can against it. We don't expect to get 100%. But the majority of the Yoruba people don't suffer lẹ́nu. Kò sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Igbo, kò sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú ọmọ Hausa. We are the ones suffering. Àwa ní ìdébá. Kí ni mo sọ? Ìṣẹ́ àti òṣì tó ti débá. Tó bá wo fídíò tó mo post sórí platform lẹ́nu, tó o bá ní làákàyè pé yes, Mike Olowa mute. Mbo. Mike Olowa mute. Any mic wa mute. None of the mic is mute. Michael mute. There are a lot of them. As we, because audio tomorrow record take 1 hour and I wanted to get it just about an hour. So eye ke sáré parí analysis Baba Akintoye yẹn tán tó mo fẹ́ kó parí wọnú audio yẹn, especially àwọn ìyá wa àtàwọn brothers wa tí wọ́n gbọ́ èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì tó jẹ́ pé òyìnbó lọ èdè Yorùbá ni wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ́ ká sọ. We mean the Yoruba people in Nigeria. Baba Akintoye ní gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ nínú Nigeria, roughly about 55 to 60 million. Wọ́n ní a fẹ́ establish ìlú tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa. A fẹ́ establish, a fẹ́ gba ìlú tiwa, a fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ìlú wa kó dá dúró away from ìlú òfò tí gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa ọmọọba Abiodun Grace Chapel, tí bàbá wa Prophet Ṣẹ́gun Adébáyọ̀ Máyọ̀wá, gbogbo àwọn bàbá àtàwọn wòlíì àtàwọn babaláwo tó sọ pé àfi kílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí China, gẹ́gẹ́ bí Germany, gẹ́gẹ́ bí France, gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo ìlú tí wọ́n jẹ́ ẹ̀yà kan náà. Àwa ní oríṣiríṣi èèyàn tó máa gbé níbẹ̀, but with a full ID. Torí àwa tá wá gbé ní bíbáyìí, pé máa gbé ní bíbáyìí tó ń ṣe ń tọ́ bí sí bíbáyìí, àwọn máa gbà ká lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ àní ó tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tá náà káà níbi kọ̀ọ̀kan tá fẹ́ lọ. And don't let anybody fool you, like I always say. Àwọn kan japa some years back, àwọn kan ṣe ń japa lẹ́nu. But what we are saying is that the only solution tá a bá gba country tiwa, ká gba orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa, we will all be affected one way or the other. Ó kàn máa impact gbogbo wa differently ni. Àwọn kan máa wà impacted more, while àwọn kan ní wà impacted more. Wọ́n wá ń bi bàbá pé lẹ́tà tí ẹ gbé lọ sí Downing Street ní October 12 kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí? Bàbá wa jẹ́ kó yé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé a ti gba acknowledgement ẹ̀. Kí ló ń pè ní acknowledgement ẹ̀? A ti gba ẹ̀rí pé wọ́n ti gba lẹ́tà wa nínú ilé. Àmọ́ kò ń ṣe tó ń yá torí pé ìjọba tá gbé wá bá ìjọba tó wà powerful lára ìjọba àgbáyé ni. Torí tá bá ní United Kingdom ẹ̀ lè fọwọ́ rọ sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ṣọ́mà wá dá wa lóhùn, wọ́n sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Ṣé yẹn dá ká jáde fún rally kò dá dúró? Ṣé yẹn jáde pé gbogbo àwọn ìlú mi ta fi bá sọ̀rọ̀ kò dá dúró? But gbogbo ala mọ̀ the importance of the United Kingdom. Just to move swiftly to the time. As we move forward, bàbá wa jẹ́ kó yé wa pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ sì tún máa gbọ́hùn àwọn láìpẹ́ yìí. But ìwọ tó ṣe wà in doubt, ìwọ tó ṣe sọ pé níbo ló bá ṣẹ́ dé, ìwọ tó sọ pé ó ti pẹ́ jù, máa rántí pé we are talking about a country that has been invaded. Nigeria has been invaded already, and it is not likely to work for 64 years. 64. Tinubu kọ́ ló bàjẹ́ in 64 years, but ó wà lára àwọn tó pètò ìbàjẹ́ nígbà tó lọ gbé Buhari wọlé. Kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tí President Bola Tinubu tó lè ṣe tó lè mú wa pé ká dúró sínú Nàìjíríà. I need a restructure. What we need is a full independent Yoruba country. Now, as that audio has been received in my team, about push etc. Let's come back a little bit because we're just 1 hour into the program. Happy New Year. Whether we are out or not, the work continue. Whether we are not live, the job continue. We are working around the clock, and everybody has different role. In the leader Yoruba nation, we have our leaders, and they are working. And when our leader wants us to talk, we'll come and talk to you from the leader. It is coming from the leader. It is coming from the media analysis of Gbogbo Kontia feel the advantage of having our own independent country. And I want us to listen to this before we move further. Moki Bubuale Nkonsi, Yoruba nation, Omawasi Mushe, but it will happen only if Tibubu Ataba for working. The work is not for Igbowo alone. Igbowo le wa ni gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Yoruba simultaneously. Igbowo de le wa ni Germany, kó tún wà ní ilẹ̀ Yoruba simultaneously. So Toba Tinika Jade, it is our responsibility. It is not Igbowo's responsibility alone. It is our own collective responsibility. And it is not just Babakitoye. And that is on that. And do not let anybody deceive you. We need a rally. We need a rally to get the message across the globe. We will continue to do rally until our demands are met. And there's nothing wrong in that. The mixed LR. The mixed LR is on. There's nothing wrong with it. The X. Oh, the X. Because phone Timon lonely. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I've just realized that is the Twitter space. You are mixing it up. Twitter space. No, not mix LR. I've got it back on. It might be not very Twitter space. The mic was off. I think there was a call coming through. It automatically muted the play. There was something to Mobolati or download the con. Let me see if I can get that on. There is nothing that can rectify the danger. It was off for a very long time. But so Twitter space, you could have told me it's Twitter space. Then I would have seen it. Because I can still read the comments across all my channel as I have it here. She live lórí Koikimedia. Àwọn tó tó wa gan pa aṣù kékèké lórí YouTube. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa as a repeated darapọ̀ mọ́ channel ta ní kẹ́ bá wa darapọ̀ mọ́. A ti post the link yẹn ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ program yìí at least 10 minutes ahead. Àwọn tí wọ́n ní platform kékèké gan, they are making our videos. They are making their videos and they are making revenue. There's no point why I will not make revenue in my own channel. I need that revenue no matter how small. Mo lè kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma, ẹ̀yin mommy mi, ẹ̀yin aunties, then contribute. Be kí lè ṣe kó lè máa tẹ̀síwájú. Owó oúnjẹ kọ́ ni mò ń wá. I keep saying it. Tó bá jẹ́ pé owó oúnjẹ ni mò ń wá ni, ìyẹn is a separate thing. We need money to run the operation of this organization, since it is just without any advert and all that. So tabawa to lè ní advert lórí YouTube tó lè máa fún wa ní revenue. Why not? Ìyẹn la ṣe ní ká tọ̀ sójú kan from the beginning of this year and we review it. But for now, ní ṣe live lórí Koikimedia. We will continue to push the live on the WD76 media and the other channels as well. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin yẹn wa be happy new year. Àdẹ̀kù bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ ní ilẹ̀ wa tí gbogbo wa ń rí on a daily basis. If I can't find the video now, I will have to. Where's the phone? I'm sure I posted it before we started the program. I'm sure I did. There's something there I want us to listen to, because Taban Sokwe, the insecurity that is happening on Yoruba land. The reason why there is insecurity is because Awoto Yekawa empowered. They are not empowering them. That Nigeria is still running does not mean that you cannot empower the people. And who are the people? Okay, I think this is it. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́n tí bàbá ìsọ níbí báyìí. Mo kí gbogbo ọlẹ́ nǹkan sí. Ẹ jẹ́ gbọ́n tó sọ.
Meanwhile, somebody
It's a copyright to BBC Yoruba. But mo fẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ nǹkan tí bàbá ìsọ. Alàgbà bàbá yìí. Ọlọ́dẹ ni wọ́n.
Ọlọ́pàá ló ṣe iná máa sọ wọn ní sọpọdẹ ló ṣe wọn ò ká ọdẹ kún kọ̀ọ̀kan rárá.
lọ́nà tí olórí ọ̀dẹ sọ.
I think mo ti gbọ́ sí ẹgbẹ́ start
ọgbọ̀gbọ̀n kan kò jẹ́ àjì wàhálà
ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́n tó
tábà
sọ.
fọlọ́pàá mọ́ ọba ló máa ránṣẹ́ kíkan lọ fún wọn lẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá lẹ̀ jí wọn gbé tí wọ́n gbé àwa lè máa pè àwa.
Ṣé gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ? Tí wọ́n bá tọ́ba mú wọn tọ́ba mú àwọn Fúlàní tó ń ṣe dààmúdààmú fún wa nílẹ̀ wa àwọn ọba ló máa ń ní kó fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ èyí tí bàbá ọlọ́dẹ sọ ni bàbá ẹ̀ ọmọkẹ́wò this our father àwọn ọlọ́dẹ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Àgbẹ̀ lọ́dẹ ọdẹ làgbẹ̀ àwọn náà làgbẹ̀ kọjá ọdẹ ni wá màdúrà jẹ́ oko ábàgbọ̀n kan kò jẹ́ àjì wàhálà tá a bá fọlọ́pàá mọ́ ọba ló máa ránṣẹ́ kíkan lọ fún wọn lẹ̀ gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ tó wọn báyìí wọ́n ti ra màálù sọ̀dọ̀ wọn Fúlàní tó ń bá wọn tọ́jú ẹranko tó ń bá wọn tọ́jú ẹran ẹni bá dé ògèrè sí i alùpùpù Fúlàní alùpùpù Haúsá ló níbẹ̀
ṣé ń gbọ́?
bá bẹ́rẹ̀ bá bọ́lẹ̀ ní àwùjọ Haúsá ló bọ́lé tí Fúlàní bá ń dà máa wọ́n máa gbé dàdà níbà wọ́n máa gbé ìbọn dání báyìí ẹ̀yẹ́ kọ́mọ Yorùbá gbé ìbọn dání kó máa ní lọ báyìí títí ọlọ́pàá máa mú ọlọ́pàá máa mú bòlòsí lọ́ta tó yìn bòlòsí mọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa fún wa ní kí nígbà ìpara wọn ti gbé ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ máa bèrè pé wọ́n ti tìmọ́lé kí ló fẹ́ ṣe lẹ́nu kí lọ mú 50,000 wá lẹ́nu pé 100,000 wá kan tó fi lẹ̀ ní wáyé tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ jì ní wọn gbé tí wọ́n gbé àwa lè máa pè àwa là ń wọ̀ gbó.
Táwọn bá wá wọgbó lọ wà wá gbé oríyìn fún ọlọ́pàá ṣe rí until gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá understand that in tí ó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tí ẹ fi sọ pé káwà ní Nàìjíríà ó ti affect every sector of Yorùbá land a kàn sọ pé ojú kan ló affect ni economic it has affected us average ní ọmọ Yorùbá ní cash nínú báńkì débi kó máa ní cash lọ́wọ́ àwọn adẹni tó yẹ pé we have to only eat on a daily basis tá a bá jáde à lè jẹun and that's fáwọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀ ṣeré kan jẹ ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ fídíò yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí without any interruption wọ́n tún lè wáyé.
màdùn àjẹ́ oko ábàgbọ̀n kan kò jẹ́ àjì wàhálà tá a bá fọlọ́pàá mọ́ wọn ọba ló máa ránṣẹ́ kíkan lọ fún wọn lẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ jí wọn gbé tí wọ́n gbé àwa lè máa pè àwa là ń wọ̀ gbó ẹ̀rì wọnú gbó. Àgbẹ̀ lọ́dẹ ọdẹ làgbẹ̀ àwọn náà làgbẹ̀ kọjá ọdẹ ni wá màdùn àjẹ́ oko ábàgbọ̀n kan kò jẹ́ àjì wàhálà tá a bá fọlọ́pàá mọ́ wọn ọba ló máa ránṣẹ́ kíkan lọ fún wọn lẹ̀ gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ tó wọn báyìí wọ́n ti ra màálù sọ̀dọ̀ wọn Fúlàní tó ń bá wọn tọ́jú ẹranko tó ń bá wọn tọ́jú ẹran ẹni bá dé ògèrè sí i alùpùpù Fúlàní alùpùpù Haúsá ló níbẹ̀ bá bẹ́rẹ̀ bá bọ́lẹ̀ ní àwùjọ Haúsá ló bọ́lé tí Fúlàní bá ń dà máa wọ́n máa gbé dàdà níbà wọ́n máa gbé ìbọn dání báyìí ẹ̀yẹ́ kọ́mọ Yorùbá gbé ìbọn dání kó máa ní lọ báyìí títí ọlọ́pàá máa mú bòlòsí lọ́ta tó yìn bòlòsí mọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa fún wa ní kí nígbà ìpara wọn ti gbé ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ máa bèrè pé wọ́n ti tìmọ́lé kí ló fẹ́ ṣe lẹ́nu kí lọ mú 50,000 wá lẹ́nu pé 100,000 wá kan tó fi lẹ̀ ní wáyé tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ jì ní wọn gbé tí wọ́n gbé àwa lè máa pè àwa là ń wọ̀ gbó ẹ̀rì wọnú gbó à ń ṣe kìnnì pépà ló gbé pépà gbé rédíò àtúnṣọ tẹlifíṣàn àtúnṣọ wà láti ẹ̀ ọlọ́pàá ló ṣe iná máa sọ wọn ní sọpọdẹ ló ṣe wọn ò ká ọdẹ kún kọ̀ọ̀kan rárá.
now gbogbo ala ti gbọ́n tí bàbá yẹn sọ kọ́lọ́n túbọ̀ jẹ́ kárí àwọn bàbá yẹn pẹ́ dáadáa kọ́lọ́n túbọ̀ bá wa lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa that are ready to make our land a very safe place, but apparently that is not happening. MOD, because we have some of our people don't compromise security in Yoruba. But we are not talking about security alone now. We are talking about vast amount of different things that affect to our, from security to Yoruba economy to Yoruba education to our welfare to having a constitution that is not representing Yoruba people in the present day Nigeria. Because the current constitution, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, is of useless, is very useless, could make any life meaningful for you and me in the last 9 years of their government. Because Agbọ́dọ̀ mú Buhari mọ́ President Tinubu's government, because it's 8 years of Buhari, 1 year of his own. Now, the question tí à ń bá lọ ni pé, as everybody is campaigning for different things, àwọn olóṣèlú gbogbo alátimọ̀ tó ń campaign fún, àwọn olóṣèlú campaign for their own selfish gain, their own selfish interest, not the interest of the Yoruba people. Because the Yoruba people that are asking for self-determination knows definitely that it will not be as usual game if the country goes out and a new country is established. And if a new country is established. But you cannot establish a new country until we exit the one that we are in. Àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ exit in Nigeria. So for those of you that are against Yoruba nation, for those of you that are always saying that, why Yoruba nation? Why not let us rectify the problem? Oh, is it not going to be the same leader? Share the same constitution. Download in Nigeria. Lamado Tabadele Yoruba. Can you fight the constitution? Can you fight the justice system of Nigeria right now? Can you fight the current system of Nigeria? How many of you have the balls to fight it? But when we have our own country, we can then restructure the things that we want and how we want it according to every one of us, not one particular section of the country that is enjoying the country right now. And everybody is running away from that. Because why? Because one read Tinubu as their savior, forgetting that if they can attack that system, that even Tinubu is the president right now, what about many other systems that will be attacked very soon? Let's listen to a very show the same. I saw the time on the program the same. So why is that? I'm feeling the information and listen. Remember, nísòro láti sòrò remember. Fún mi ní fíìmù rẹ̀ jẹ́ kí n play nǹkan while I'm responding to ẹ̀jẹ̀ gbọ́n kan tí bàbá ẹ̀ sọ. And this is the person speaking, in case you are wondering.
Easy to say that Nigerian economy grew by 4.6%. Is that really correct? In economics, is that really correct? Can you compare Nigeria with Osun State? Or can you compare Nigeria with Sokoto State? That is not the correct. You compare Nigeria with Ghana, you compare Nigeria with United Arab Emirates, and you compare Nigeria with Argentina. So when you are comparing, which currency do you use? You use the dollar. Now, when you look at our GDP 2 years ago, it was $500 billion. What is it? $1 billion. What is it today? 199. We are now $199 billion. Are we better off or worse off? We are living in our worst days. Pre-Jonathan regime, before we rebase the economy. Before rebasing the economy, we were larger than this. So everybody, per capita income in Nigeria now is nearly above $1,000. What used to be $3,000? So are we better off or worse off? How can subsidy removal and reflotation be better? The question you should ask is, what should we have done differently? And there are options which were made available, written and in discussion to authority. But the cheapest way is for government revenue to boost, hoping President Tinubu hopes that governors will invest in the economy. What's that done? What's that done? But for a few states that actually reinvested this back into the economy, it's important for people to know the truth. After all, your station is about as it is. You need to say the truth.
Yes, as it is.
This economy is not as strong as it should be.
Let me start charging this phone because I'm going to need it now. We're just about, less than 20 minutes out of the program. So, purpose of this program this afternoon was to come and talk about, just pay attention, Wale, the difference between the education system in the UK and the education system in Nigeria. The difference. And many Yoruba people that are still believing that Nigeria will be a great country that will work for you. Omo, it is high time you forget that nonsense. It is high time you listen now and accept the fact that Nigeria is not going to work. One lè parọ́ fún yín from all their own media, their propagandas, that Nigeria is working towards working. Let's listen to the economic situation of Nigeria as of today. So like I said, because I'm working out with time, we are just about 2 hours morning. So we are 1 hour 26 minutes into the program. So we are just less than 35 minutes to the end of this program. But let's listen. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ how this played out when it comes to the economy of Nigeria. I am sorry to say this video critically explains how Nigeria is getting destroyed. It is not we that we are destroying Nigeria. How would limit to if we destroy Nigeria? What power do I have to destroy? Am I the Boko Haram that is attacking the military barracks? Am I the one that attacked the Abuja school with the IDE? Let me quickly push that in. IDE. There was an attack in Abuja where 2 students were killed. And this is coming from the AP. Explosive device kills. And don't tell me about other countries. I'm not interested about other countries. I'm talking about Nigeria as a country and why it has not been able to protect the lives of millions of Nigeria in the last, years of being together in that fake union. Because some of you always come and say, oh, but there's also attack am I a citizen of that country? We're talking about Nigeria. So our focus point is Nigeria, where it has been unable to govern itself because Tinubu should not be traveling to Ghana when there is danger in his backyard. And visit Borno State to find out what happened at that military barracks. But are they interested? He wants to show himself that he's the president, Kodagbada, and that is why the Ghana president can even mix up the names. You can see how useless every one of them are. Ghana president, Tinubu, ni Ghana president. Do you understand that? Ghanaian president, the new president, is calling Tinubu the Ghana president when he was, putting his, his appreciation to those that came for the event. Moki Yoruba Nation Lafe TV all the way from Hong Kong. So you can see, the useless set of people, because you will expect the president to have been debriefed and read through what he's going to say, but rather and bring on the how can Tinubu be the president of Ghana? Shit whole continent. Let's listen to this guy while I just have my crackers biscuits.
Easy to say that Nigerian economy grew by 4.6%. Is that really correct? In economics, is that really correct? Can you compare Nigeria with Osun State? Or can you compare Nigeria with Sokoto State? That is not be correct. You compare Nigeria with Ghana, you compare Nigeria with United Arab Emirates, and you compare Nigeria with Argentina. So when you are comparing, which currency do you use? You use the dollar. Now when you look at our GDP 2 years ago, it was $500 billion. What is it? $1 billion. What is it today? 199. We are now $199 billion. Are we better off or worse off? Yeah. We are living in our worst days. Pre-Jonathan regime, before we rebase the economy. Before rebasing the economy, we were larger than this. So everybody per capita income in Nigeria now is nearly above $1,000. What is to be $3,000? So are we better off or worse off? How can subsidy removal and revocation be better? The question you should ask is, what should we have done differently? And there are options which were made available written and in discussion to authority. But the cheapest way is for government revenue to boost, hoping President Tinubu hoped that governors will invest in the economy. What's that done? What's that done? But for a few states that actually reinvested this back into the economy, it's important for people to know the truth. After all, your station is about as it is. Yes. You need to say the truth.
Yes, as it is.
This economy is not as strong as it should be. This economy used to be the largest in the whole Africa. Okay. The last time I spoke with your correspondent, we were number 4. Today we are now number 5.
Listen to this side.
The largest economy in Southern America is Brazil. It's also the largest country in population. The largest in North America is the United States. It's also the largest population, the largest economy. Then you now go to Europe and see Eastern Europe. You see Russia as the largest economy and also the largest population. And go to Western Europe, where you meet Germany, the largest population, largest economy. When you come to Africa, oh my dear Black Africa, Nigeria is the largest population. It's not the first. It's not the second. It's not the third. It's not the fourth. Now the fifth. So how can those two policies be good? It is more than obvious that they were made out of error. They were made in mistakes. And some of us had provided alternative solution to the government. Whether we will take it or not is another kettle of fish. But we cannot say because we added it. Look for cutlass and beard ourselves, hoping that all will be well. It's like cutting our nose to spite our feet.
There was an explosive in Abuja. Explosive in Abuja. You want to chop biscuit, crack a biscuit in it. Technology will accept it. Take a ballot on long. Eh? Yeah. Can't get that really. Very cool. Explosive device. Explosive device. Ó pa èèyàn méjì ní ìlú Abuja. Explosive device. Kí ló ń pè ní explosive device? Ògùn olóró, bomb, IDE, was used to kill 2 people in a school in Abuja. We are playing with fire. You keep saying nothing is going to happen. Stop making this up. Every time you come out to come and scare us, stop making it up. Okay. Am I the one making it up? Or the system that fails to protect us all in Nigeria since it has been compromised? So ta ló ń fail ara wọn? Why are you telling lies to yourself? Mo fẹ́ record the so but I'm sharing the one I recorded earlier. Explosive device ó pa èèyàn méjì ní school ní FCT Abuja. Oh my God. The end of Nigeria is better we witness it than Nigeria to witness our own end. Go on my Twitter. You will cry. The video, you will see children burnt. Serious burnt. There was a man, his whole skin has turned to white. From top to bottom. Bogware to the white. When they got to the clinic, the doctor is not there, the nurse is not there, the man just fall on the floor. We don't know whether he passed on or whether he's still breathing. I saw children. I don't know whether it was a fire. We don't know. Somehow, it's in Nigeria. Continue to say they play. I am the one playing from UK. I am the one instigating problem from UK. Knowing fully well that your country has created the danger. But we are all living in denial. Because I'm going to start winding down quickly. Let's quickly just listen one more time to another security threat. Last week, I was still out here talking about Australia warning its citizens not to go to anywhere in that shithole country. Oh, you don't like calling it shithole. So, Kinikakwe. No, what should we call it? We shouldn't call it shithole. Then what should we call it? ẹ wá sọ tá a máa pè fún wa náà torí ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin ní brain jọ wá lọ messed up people. mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sàn Koikimedia èní ní 7th January 2025 ẹ bá wa pín audio tí ó bá kàn yín lára ní aago 5 rather ó kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 9 o tí gbọ́ tún farabalẹ̀ gbọ́ ilé ìdí pàtàkì tí ìran Yorùbá ṣe fi kúrò ní Nàìjíríà ni pé àwọn kan wà nísìnyí wọ́n ti ń lo explosive IDE improvised explosive device wọ́n gbé lọ sí school ó dẹ̀ explode ó dẹ̀ ti ń pa àwọn èèyàn. ṣé a máa dájú sílẹ̀ ní bí a ṣe ń wà nínú Nàìjíríà tí Tinubu ò lè fún wa ní security àwọn gómìnà fún wa ní security tí lè fi ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Abuja tó nígbà tó bá gbé IDE tó ń pè ní improvised explosive device tó nígbà tó bá gbé wọnú school kan ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó explode tó pa àwọn èèyàn ṣé yẹn la fẹ́ torí pé kò sẹ́ni tó mọ who is who mọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà. This news is coming from the AP. Explosive device kills 2 at a school near Nigeria capital, police says. Abuja, Nigeria. An improvised explosive device detonated at a school on the outskirts of Nigeria's capital. Ìyẹn ní àná ọjọ́ kẹfà nínú oṣù àkọ́kọ́ 2025 6 January 2025 ilé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ not last year kò ṣe January last year ilé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní àná ni èyí ní 7 so it is still less than 24 hours ní Abuja capital city ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ó pa èèyàn méjì killing 2 people who were handling the bomb and injuring 2 others according to ọlọ́pàá. Àwọn wo ni ṣé àwọn terrorists ń fi bọ́ǹbù ṣeré ni àbí àwọn tí wọ́n fi sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ school wọn tó lọ rò pé bóyá tọ́yì ni tọmọdání tó explode. The IDE was suspected to have been brought to the Tansagia Sani Uthman Ismail School in Abuja. So now àwọn kan ló fi ṣeré tó fi explode. So àwọn wo ló gbé wá síbẹ̀? Kí ni agenda? What is the reason? Kí ló purpose tó fi gbé wá? According to the Barracks Council area by 3 men visiting the school owner, police spokeswoman Josephine Ada said in a statement, tragically, 2 of the men died in the explosion while tampering with the improvised explosive device on the school veranda. Àwọn ọmọléèwé àwọn ló pa àwọn rí tọ́ì ṣé onígbà tó bá gbérò ẹ̀ wọlé Yorùbá tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń jù káàkiri táwọn ọmọ máa rò pé tọ́ì ni tó bá mú dání tó explode tó pa wọ́n. Tó bá ní òfẹ́ Yorùbá nation start thinking about the security in Nigeria right now. Bá ṣe sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ náà pé the bomb àwọn tí wọ́n wọnú military barracks wọ́n pa ṣége sáwọn military lára. Báwo ló ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀? Níbo ni Nigeria Intelligence Agency wà? Níbo ni DSS wà? Níbo ni ọlọ́pàá wà? Níbo ni Navy wà? Wọ́n ní wákàtí méjì 2 hours òun ni wọ́n fi operate tí wọ́n rẹ́ nìkankan. So remnant of the device confirmed it was IDE explosion and the school owner was taken into custody for questioning. Ṣé school yẹn compromise ni? I don't know. The police did not say who the 3 men were other than they were visiting the school from the northwest Katsina state. Ṣé ń gbọ́? Ṣé ń gbọ́rọ̀? Ṣé ń gbọ́ ibi tí ọlọ́pàá tó ń cover up tó wọ̀ sọ àwọn èèyàn mẹ́ta yẹn irú èèyàn wo ni wọ́n? Ṣé Yorùbá ni wọ́n ni? Ṣé Igbo ni wọ́n ni? Ṣèbí tó bá mú Igbo ní airport tó bá gbé drug ẹ sáré fún picture papapapapa ẹgbẹ́ síta. Tó bá mú ọmọ Yorùbá tó gé orí èèyàn tó ń ṣe ritual picture papapapapa ẹgbẹ́ síta. Kí ló wá dé tí ààrí ojú àwọn mẹ́ta tí wọ́n gbé IDE lọ sí school ní láti Katsina tó gbé wá sí Abuja? Ṣé rí pé ọmọ ìjọba ni wọ́n àbí? Ọmọ ìjọba ni wọ́n. One of the states that is worst hit by the terrorist violence in the northern part of Nigeria. Nigerian capital city, Abuja, has in recent years faced growing threats and attacks that local authority often attribute to armed groups. Tí terrorists bá operate, wọ́n ní àwọn tó kọ̀ jẹ́ dáràn àwọn tó ń jalè. I don't think some of you understand what terrorism is all about. bèrè lọ́wọ́ wa July 6 here in the UK. As we wind down the program from this side, northern Nigeria, where Abuja is located, has suffered similar explosion. Recent years, including June last year, when a suicide bomb targeted a wedding, a funeral of the victims, and a hospital treatment the injured. The coordinated attack also happened in Borno, which has been battling for a decade-long war. Ṣùgbọ́n war, Nigeria ti wà nínú ogun for a very long time, decade, more than 10 years láti wà nínú ogun. So kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń gbógun kankan wá ju pé à ń béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ wa lábẹ́ òfin àgbáyé. Who launched an insurgent that has spilled over to Nigerian north neighbor of Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. Again, à ń sọ pé repentant Boko Haram, kí ló dé tí wọ́n tán repentant wọn tán tọ́jú wọn? Why are these people, that are criminals? À ń sọ pé àwọn tó ń pààyàn, kí ló dé tí Tinubu àti government ẹ̀ tó ń sọ pé they can come back and rehabilitate them again? And these are the questions that many people are asking. I'm coming in just a few minutes. These are the questions that we are worried about. Is it possible for terrorists to repent? Can you say that people that have massacred, killed people can be repented, can come as a repentant? All these are reasons why we are saying it is now high time for us to leave Nigeria as quickly as possible so that we can have our own independent Yoruba nation. And on that note, thank you so much for joining. It's just a very quick one and a very shout out to you must be. Muki our comfort Ologunja, Muki Baba Bamidele, Yoruba leaders and Yoruba youth. Let us fight for our future. Our kings and politicians can't help us. Peter Sunday, thank you so much. Mr. Oluwagbami, time is coming. Waris Inodu, Fulanize, Wazobia, Pidgin English language can. We are not English. Muki Babami Abiodun Abe, Muki Yoruba Nation all the way from Hong Kong. Check. Well done, sir, my dear brother, for the good work you are doing. Thank you so much. Abiodun Kafa, Abdullahi Amobalaji Muki, shout out to you. Muki Olakunle, Muki brother mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Abdullahi. Mulobe Muki our comfort Ologunja, Eshegone Quadroti, Olatoni Aegis, Muki our Shade Lotto, Muki Babawa Najimo, Muki Grandma Elegbede, Koiki, well done. Yoruba Nation will soon come in Jesus' name. I'm so, very sure of that. Adekunle Idris, good evening to you. All the way down there to Daniel Adeyemi, Muki Babami Wasil Taiwo, Sham K. Adesonya, Yawa Pastor Mo, Lenkos Muki Yawa Comfort Ologunja, Ekusheta Kutaku, and Akupalemo, Bugbo B. Etoshin Lolotu Losi. Mulobe Muki Triple DRS, thank you so much for being part of the program this evening. Support Koikimedia, please. It is important that we make this platform to be stronger. There is no terrorist. It is stampede to strip some people of their right, according to Kuma. I'm not sure what that is all about. Moki City Boy, thank you so much once again. And these are people that have watched us on Koikimedia backup YouTube channel. This will be posted. Moki Babawade Yemi Olayemi. Sorry, Nick Fakponda. I'm not interested in Fakponda. So I'm not sure what you're talking about because I haven't watched anything from Fakponda. Taufik rather Kadri Muki gbogbo ẹ̀yin yẹn wa tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí program wa. Ogunmola Biodo, shout out to you. Ewetomi Muki, and I guess that is all those that I've picked up so far. Babami Sunodu, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Happy New Year once again. Gbogbo ilé coming from Yawa Comfort Ologunja. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ nípa báwọn ṣe láǹfààní àti lọ sí a very good school. Moki Pastor Adetokunbo Oshun, keep soaring high. God is on your side. Moki Babami Adewumi Ade Nipekun. Only I saw it. Saw those videos, very painful. Apostle Olajide Adebayo Mokinyi Eshegoni Apostle Moki Babawa Olamide Ayomi. Shout out to you. Olanipekun plenty. Thank you so much. Odosi Oluwaseyi Mokinyi. All this Kiki Kakofi appreciate you. Kama Foju Panyere Moki Ademola. So if I miss your name, please don't get angry, upset. Yawatawo Kike, because I'm really running out of time now, and we need to wind down the program. Ayinde Oladimeji Moki Ayola, Moki Mr. Yusuf, Adex, Kamaruddin. And please, I also the platform. My platform is not just for Koikimedia. We talk about a lot of other things. So sometimes you might not find yourself again because we are not playing on that platform. So Moki Mr. Moki Yawa Olu Yawa Bukola, Shodipe Gudi Mo Mofita Otoki, Grandma, Moki Buba Yawa Baba, Moki Baba Mama Bodu Grace Chapel. Yawa Elizabeth Adeson Moki, want to continue your good work. God will always be on your side, which is the most important thing. Agbaje was still Moki brother Nolasumbo Koiki. Thank you so much. Ebanki àwọn tó kù náà. Elédùmarè àdúró ti gbogbo apáta. Ebanki àwa àtàwọn ọmọ. Kentos Abebi. All we need is a positive outcome. Yoruba Nation not going back. The Vice President of Ifelodo Moki Akikanju, Moki gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́gbẹ́, Moki Igbowayan lady. Ogun Toyin Bo Abiodun Koiki, you are the best again, the best Igbowo Sha. Jekomo Igbowo Sha. Titilayo Farunbi Moki Tawoto Mobidaruko yin. Lizzie Femi Oladimeji Moki and sisters Mini Bubu Tebawa Moki and Lori Instagram, and those of you on the Twitter and the Twitter space as well, and those of you that join us on the Mix LR. Do not be deceived, as Babakito said. We remain firm and we remain firm. Firm at Duromoki Yawa Sherifat Agbabiaka. Nobody can sell this movement to any politician. Neither are we going to listen to any politicians. Our demands must be met, but it cannot be done from here alone. It has to be from you and me. Bubualani responsibility at your role to play. We are playing our role. You play yours as well. Moki Razak Bankole, Moki Baba Mikainde Paul, Moki Olamilekon address. When God bless Baba Kitoye and Moki Olasende Shilo. But Shigoni Moki Bubuayiti Ewa the 21 fasting prayer. Let us keep the prayer going. We need a lot of prayer because we're dealing with evil people, both in the ground and those outside controlling things as they want. But we will not give up. We will not be tired. We will not relent. It's a new year and there's a lot of things that needs to be done. But without funding, it will be extremely difficult. There's minimal to what we can do. We will continue to do what we are doing right now, but when we're talking about bigger picture of what we can do, I don't need to tell you everything I have to do, but for the media perspective, it is the creation of the awareness is our priority. I am not the leader. We have our leaders and they have things that they will tell us at the appropriate time. So when we attack our leaders, we always say to you, be very careful, because those are people that have not suffered, and you will have suffered in Nigeria and you continue to suffer. There are a couple of things that we are going to release very soon, and we will let you know when. Exclusive. Tibani exclusive. I don't think you want to miss it. And I'll tell you where you will be able to watch it. Because why is exclusive? Is exclusive because it was done by us. Yes, for now. So, and we want to make sure that we can share it, but a lot of people do not appreciate the work that we do from those that tap into our resources. You're using my video, you don't credit it, and you can credit it. It's not good enough. You can always say this video is credited to Koikimedia. Video Babawa Timolo record. I want branded, but they found London, they were recorded. It's fine. But it could have been better to buy the paper. This video is credited to Koikimedia. But okay? Because that video took longer hours to get Baba to record it. Oh, you can't record me. But I still Oshe. Baba, Wadada, I'm speaking to Baba. Yeah, Baba, Dr. Omoba, Allah Josi. There's still a lot Baba wants to share with me, but I'm very busy. And Baba is worried. Wait, Muni Lati Wasoda can't record more. But I'm sure you all know there's a lot that we can do if you can also support as well. I'm not driving, and it's also cold winter, so it is not easy. But we will do what we can do until we can get him to speak to us. And we really come out to Baba make clear, especially Baba won to Joba at the amalgamation at many other areas. But we're talking on the phone. If worst case comes, I will just tell him to give me the recording through the audio. But it would be nice to have him there. but ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá lo fídíò wa ẹ máa credit wa so that you know people know that at least látọ̀dọ̀ wa ni kò ṣe pé kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ branded all the way through bí bàtẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin lẹ lọ record the video yẹn mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o Yorùbá Nation no going back have a very good evening bye for now. Just give me a few seconds.